how's it going, everybody? Gabriel, Santiago here. This is the Speaking of Harmony podcast. This is episode 15. Again, thank you so much for all the comments, all the questions. It's been great. Just want to remind you guys that I went live yesterday on YouTube, just testing out this format. I'm definitely going to be showing up live more and more. So I did the Speaking of Harmony podcast live version. So you can now have another, outlet where you can interact with me and ask questions and all that stuff. I'm gonna be linking the video of the performance from yesterday here in the descriptions, and you can check out and watch that performance. Go there, send some love, a comment, and everything. And I'm gonna be doing that on a more consistent basis, so you guys can interact there as well. Before we go into today's topic, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the little bell to notifications. This is all my social media stuff. If you can hit the like button and really like this video, really help the algorithm and all that stuff. So also don't forget to sign up for the mailing list. The link is in the description of the video. Don't forget to get on that wagon as well. Thank you so much. And I was talking to myself. I talk to myself a lot, especially because I live on myself, and now, especially now in this quarantine, I'm definitely talking to myself a lot lately. So I was just messing around with stuff, and there's something that is really worth talking about, because we talked about some kind of a voice movement, already two kinds, and I didn't really talk about another one that is really great, and it can give you so much as well, right? Again, this is all related to #voice leading. I did talk about him in past episodes about the whole chromatic progressions, and when you can achieve contrary motion with the voices, which means each voice is going to an opposite direction, right? The exercise was about that. So you have the top voices going, you have this voice going that direction, and then you had the bass going chromatically on the descending, so they had achieving contrary motion, right? We also talked about here on just parallel motion, which is commonly associated with parallel chords, right? So you have that Metheny tune right? This parallel motion. All the voices, let's say two voices, they're going in the same direction, right? If one's going up, the other one's going up, and vice versa, right? We have a third kind of movement, which is really cool and can generate so many cool, harmonic implications if you use that principle. Very loose, but still kind of following that principle, which is the oblique movement, the oblique motion, right? What is oblique motion? Oblique motion is when, let's say you have two voices, and the voices are not moving at the same time, and they are keeping, at least one of them are keeping the same, let's say, height where they are, and one is going up and the other one stays as it is, or the one is going down or up and the other one stays as it is, right? For instance, a situation like that, when you have two voices, this one, right? This one went up and this one stayed where it was, right? And then let's say this one, the down voice, went up and that one stayed, and then this one goes up and this one goes up after the other one stayed, right? And vice versa, right? So stuff like that, right? That's oblique motion, right? When one voice stays and the other one is moving, rather than two voices moving either in different directions, contrary motion, or in parallel, right? So there's a bunch of harmonic things and little gestures you can do that they're all related to function. I talked about some of them I was talking about past episodes about kind of half step kind of motions you can do. It definitely has some harmonic explanations or whatever, but I'm trying to have a different look into that. And if you just consider the voice motion, the voice movements, you can spend different progressions and stuff. For instance, when you have and I was using this example that I was playing this song that I really like in the beginning of the video. was playing a little bit of this song called Invisible People, and it's a song by the Yellow Jackets, a band that I really love. And this one is composed by Jimmy Haslip, the bass player, now former bass player of the Yellow Jackets. And it has some of this motion that I love very much. So it's something like this. That's when it starts. See? This one is moving, this one is staying. And then in the melody, he does that in the melody a few times. So he does a... And then, now... Here, so we have... See? So in this case, this voice stays, right? And the whole thing actually, like the rest of it moves up, right? So if you consider this a two voice kind of deal, right? You lose with it, right? But you consider the bass, for instance. See? And then, right? So he does here. So that's oblique motion, see? One voice stays, like one voice is gonna stay, this one. Alright? And then this one, same deal. And then here, same thing. Right? In this case, the bass is moving, right? You have, so he does... So you have cases where the bass is moving. Some cases you have the top melody moving. It's not really a recipe, but you can take this principle and just have fun with it, right? So it's just kind of like messing around with this and just came up with this little routine that I was doing for myself, and you guys can play that too. Just a way of just kind of exercising that motion and just going up on the instrument. So I just kind of coming up with this thing. So it'll be like this, like this simple like progression. Right? So melody and bass, that's the oblique motion right here, see? Melody is moving up, right? And then the bass moves later. So numbers over here in F, and then you end on the chord that you arrive at, first the minor, and then you go up, like half step. So, and then keep going up. So this is going the exercise how it's going to be. Then so on, so on. You get the idea, right? To have. Just kind of exercise this independent movement in a way that they're not moving the same time. So the oblique motion, one is staying and the other one is going up. On this case, the top melody, right? That's a cool little exercise that I was just messing around with, right? There's another one that I was doing, in which that motion, happens in the middle voice, right? So that you don't only have the top voice moving, so the mid voice is doing that oblique motion. For instance, I was doing something like this, like. So this one you have the oblique motion happening in these two top voices, right? You have, right? The bass is gonna move, and the bass also, right? So the main melody is this, right? But then you have this voice as a separate voice, and then you have the bass, right? So you start having this movement on different voices. So you do E minor, then F13 sus, then bring the top note up, right, for the ninth, and then keep going. So then this chord is gonna become the minor ninth chord, up to the 13th sus, and then so you have this cool movement as well, chromatic, but oblique voice, right? Oblique movement. So see, that's a cool movement as well. That was just kind of messing around with it. You can definitely see that movement happening here, right? So another movement I was doing to explore this oblique motion was actually doing the opposite way, because the first two exercises I did was like going up, right, ascending. So I was just trying to figure out something in the descending front, right, so that we do the opposite thing, but still we're using the oblique motion, right? So I came up with this thing. So it would be, see, so this is a cool one because you have the top voice like a minor chord, then resolving to a minor chord half step below, and then it becomes the third instead of going the 9, but then you pass through the 9 to the next 9, right? Then you resolve on the 11, and then you already half step from where you start, right? Right, so we do, and then so just take a minor ninth chord with the ninth on the top, right? Go half step with the melody staying up, which means oblique motion, right? Then start here with another minor chord, which would be half step from where you started. And then so on, so on. Cool, right? That's another cool exercise you can do. And then the next exercise I was exercising on, right? Stuff that I came up with to train that stuff was a nice one as well. But that one combines that also oblique motion, but instead of using minor chords as I was using sus, I was doing the sus chord would be the one that's gonna do the move, but still kind of a minor sound. But the melody has more leaps. But the total like oblique motion is gonna happen within these two voices on the top. So you see, so something like that. You see what I'm doing? So you have this. That's the oblique motion I was talking about. Right? Then this one stays, this one goes up, then this other one goes up, then this one goes up, and then this one goes up, and this one goes up. So you have this beautiful movement of the voices. Total voice leading, total. So let's do it again. So it'll be See the idea? That's a cool way to kind of practice oblique motion, right? It's different from parallel motion, which is different from contrary motion, right? So we have this voice that's staying, the other one's going up or down, or the other one takes the lead in that case. It's a cool movement as well that you can train and integrate with your chords, right? With your harmony. So this, I just gave kind of like 3 or 4 examples on how we can use that stuff, right? I hope you have fun with that. And don't forget to check out the live performance I did, the live video. And, you know, stay tuned for another video, because I'm gonna definitely plan on telling everybody that I'm going live, so you guys can prepare and, you know, catch up, get some popcorn and watch, and, you know, maybe ask some questions and stuff. But for that, sign the mailing list. That's where I'm gonna be mailing people to tell them that I'm going live, right? Don't forget that. The link is over here in the video description. The performance is also linked here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the little bell thing, the notifications. This is all my social media stuff. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.